So welcome back to the series on resilience, and in this section we're going to talk about understanding people, yourself, others. There's what's called the golden rule. I'm sure you've heard of it. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Well, that's 16th century language. It's treat other people like you want to be treated. Unfortunately, it doesn't work, because does everybody want to be treated like you? No, they want to be treated like them. And that's the platinum rule. Treat other people like they want to be treated. This takes a bit of work, but we're going to give you an introduction to one form, method, model that has you thinking about looking at people a little bit differently. We encourage you to follow up after this brief look-in to take an assessment, personality style. DISC products through Google is one way to get an assessment that works in harmony with what I'm going to tell you. So there are 4 basic behavioral styles. The easiest language I've come across is doer, thinker, talker, and guardian. Let's run through each of these and have a taste of the varying aspects that people are, how people differ from you or are somewhat alike. So doers, a lot of people associate them with those AA, high A driven people. They're task-oriented. They want to get down to business. They're very fast. Love making decisions quickly. They can be very aggressive in that, and that can be off-putting. But they don't care. They just move on in their own way. Very strong personalities. You see these people in management, particularly upper management. They have to get things done, and sometimes you're in the way of that. So, doers. The next group are also task-oriented. They get down to business easily, and they're called thinkers. But they're very different from doers. Highly analytical, very detail-oriented. Doers, they only want the summary and big picture. Thinkers, they go in depth, the nitty-gritty, dot the I's, cross those T's, and they take a lot of time doing it. Notice about them that they think linearly, that you have to present your arguments linearly, and if you don't, there's a gap between you and them, and every gap decreases the ease of relationship, and that all produces lower resilience in relationships. So the thinkers, you have to adjust your style, give them more information. They ask a lot of questions, and by the way, when you give them an answer, they're more likely to ask another question or series. So if you're a fast-paced person, you need to have a lot of patience with thinkers. Let's look at one of the 2 groups of more people-oriented, relationship-based, and talkers are what we call the first of these. Like the doers, they're fast, but they're fast because they're more impulsive. They're more right-brained, and so they're more creative in imagery than the thinkers who think with words. They have a lot of optimism, a lot of enthusiasm. You find people like this in sales roles, for instance, whereas the thinkers, they're the analysts you might find in IT or engineering. So these are the wild and woolly and crazy people. You'd see the crazy ties or the newest gadget. That's them. They're impulsive and they like lots of new things. The last group, see if you're a part of this or if you're a little bit different from them, they're called guardians. And they're more guarded. They like safety. They don't want risk. They don't want conflict. They like to do the same things over and over again. People in those categories. Administrative assistants might be a guardian because they're guarding their boss. Or HR, who like to have policies and procedures. Let's do it the same way over and over and ensure a foundation for everybody. That's good, and it may not be your way. And so this is just a look-see into 4 different ways that people show up. I like to use 4 phrases as a reminder of what these people are like in the big picture. So kind of a summary. The doers, they're get her done. Thinkers, let's get it right. They're the perfectionists. Talkers, let's get it going with their enthusiasm. And guardians, let's get along. Safety is key for them. So remember, the platinum rule doesn't come easily. We live in our life, we know our way, and we prefer that everybody else was the same. Unfortunately, they're not. So the more you study people from this perspective, this kind of model, the better you'll be able to relate to them, ease your relationship, close the gaps between you, and therefore be more resilient in all of your relationships.